You know, I get asked about the road outdoors. What is it? Who started it? And why do you do it? Well, the idea for the Road Outdoors TV show was born in Jacksonville, Alabama. Now, that's a small town roughly 60 miles east of Birmingham. In Jacksonville, things move a little slower than in other parts of the country, but that's why we're here. We love the feel of a cold football Friday night, being with family, hanging out with friends, and of course being in the woods and on the water. You see, outdoors people in Alabama are lucky. We have the best of all worlds when it comes to outdoor sports like hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, biking. Hey, we can do it all. We have the best fisheries anywhere with the Coosa River Lakes, Lake Guntersville, which is the bass capital of the world. We have awesome state parks and great land management areas for hunting. You see, our good fortune made us realize that we had an awesome opportunity to showcase our state and to let others know about it too. So one day while we were fishing, we got the grand idea to begin filming an outdoor show about Alabama and more. Now sometimes we're invited to hunt or fish other states, but that only gives us an opportunity to promote our state all over the country. But I'm here to tell you, filming, hunting, and fishing is tough. You got weather problems, equipment issues, it's always something. But that didn't stop us from fighting through all that to bring this show to you. Now, we're not professionals, and that will be pretty obvious. We're just a group of good ones that love the outdoors and our beautiful state. Now, we will do our best to make this show better and better, so sit back and enjoy, and when the show is over, get up off that couch and go experience the Alabama outdoors for yourself.
Welcome to the Road Outdoors. I'm your host, Rodney Turner.
I'm Cody Galloway.
I'm Jeremy Haynes.
We got a great hunt coming to you today from Manhattan, Kansas. Stick with us.
The Road Outdoors is brought to you by Shotgun Sports Supply, Coosa Industrial Supply, Observer Office Supply, Calhoun County Insurance Center of Jacksonville, Huddle House of Jacksonville,
Yeah, it was a little bit. I mean, it's about gone.
So it's
Yeah,
about over.
yeah, it's rust during bow season up there.
Okay.
Notice one thing is like how far you can see.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
You know,
amazing.
it's like
Yeah, you can shoot it with a rangefinder, and most of you, unless you got a $600 rangefinder, it just.
You know, a lot out there in Midwest, a lot of those guys, especially like in antelope hunts, that's my kind of hunting.
Oh,
out the
yeah.
truck window.
Yeah, that's
That's how our farmer hunts.
Yeah,
It's like, if y'all get in that red truck, they know that truck.
and they ain't scared
Yeah,
of us.
exactly. You know, I mean, all them guys got the little clip, they spot and scope
Oh, yeah.
that rolls up on the window. I mean, that's
That's
how
totally
they do
different.
it. Yeah, it's totally different.
Other than people.
Because the story was that you killed a big buck
Right.
that evening you saw a giant.
It wasn't pretty. Hunt 7 days hard, sell a lot of turkeys, you sell a lot of wildlife out there, but you got a lot of turkeys on your property here in Alabama. But the thing between Alabama to Kansas is the deer and the wildlife out there is not pressured, nothing like what we got here. The turkeys out there are really not even scared of humans. The ones around where I was hunting wasn't. So you're sitting there trying not to blink your eyes or not move and stuff, and then they walk right up to you and we blaze orange on them. So it was kind of weird. But anyway, back to the hunt. I hunted 7 days. the land that we hunt, the guy only lets us hunt out of natural blinds. No climbing trees, no nothing. He wants it kept natural. So what that means is you're on the ground in a blind where it's windy out there all the time.
Oh, the wind coming out of that north too, it just cuts you in half.
Yeah, and I was on a hill, so if you got touched by the hair on your skin, you knew it quick. You got it covered up quickly. But we had a lot of deer coming in, a lot of good deer. Movement was good. We had great weather. It was 19 below zero a couple of mornings. Wind blowing 30 mile an hour. So
That's pretty hard on a boy from Alabama.
that's super hard. But like we talked about earlier, I had a good deer coming in through the week, but we had trail cams out and wasn't really getting no big bucks on camera. But finally, I had a good 12-pointer come in on the 7th day of the hunt. So, it was only there one more day. So I went on and took that 12-pointer, which, he was a decent deer.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
He was a decent deer for
Trail
for
cam pics I saw that 9-point.
Yeah.
It was a giant,
Yeah,
there's
so-
no doubt.
I went on and took the 12, and as you've seen on the trail cam pics, which everybody will see, I messed up. I mean, I'm proud of the deer I killed, but the deer that I left, and I'll be back next year to get him.
It'll
for
just
sure.
be bigger next year.
It'll be bigger.
That's right.
It happens
He's
to
waiting
all
on
of
me.
us.
And I done talked to the landowner. He's still there. We
survived
got
the
pictures.
season.
That's right.
The Road Outdoors will be right back after this.
Coosa Industrial Supply is your locally owned and operated industrial supply headquarters located in Gadsden, Alabama. Coosa Industrial Supply has been a premier supplier of hoses, gaskets, bearings, gearing products, meal and safety supplies, piping valves, fittings, and sanitary equipment for over 16 years. Coosa Industrial Supply provides custom fabrication of hoses, hydraulics, and conveyor belts. With an experienced sales staff and local delivery, Coosa Industrial Supply is your one-stop shop for all your industrial supply needs.
And now back
Ever
to the
been
Road Outdoors.
out to Kansas, it's a big culture shock to you when you get out there. Y'all know how that land lays out
Oh,
there.
yeah. What amazes me is how far you can see
Yeah.
out there compared to the hardwoods in
It is.
Alabama.
Yeah, I took my range finder and up to about 600 yards and then quit, and I could still see several, 400-500 yards.
I've never seen anywhere 600
No,
yards.
not in Alabama.
It was amazing how far you could see out there. But
The lay of the land too is what amazed me. Down there in that canyon, how those deer would just that quick
They
pop
would.
right up. You turn and look, next thing you know, there's deer standing out.
yeah, you could. My rangefinder quit about 600 yards, but there are terrace steps in that property out there, and about every 100 yards was another step. So I just judged it like that. which, you know, I didn't have to shoot that far, thank goodness, but it is a total different, wide open sage fields, and you know how the wind blows out there. The sage is steadily moving, so the deer just don't exactly pop out of that sage because everything's moving.
Everything looks like a deer.
Everything's moving. You're steadily watching, but it is some pretty country out there, and it is.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, but there's no place I'd rather be than hunting in Alabama.
Oh, that's right.
There's no doubt about that.
That's right. Yeah, I got more trees in my backyard than they are in Manhattan, Kansas. So.
And pine trees.
And pine trees.
Pine trees.
That's the
So-
first thing I thought when we showed up is, where's all the trees
Yeah.
at? You know, it's,
What was odd is out there. What took me a while is you think you took a good scan of the horizon, you done seen every deer that's out there, and you look back up, and there's 6 or 7 more deer within seconds that you ain't seen. And then after the hunt was over, I finally got to really, which I should have done before the hunt, more walking around, more scouting, but we was kind of pushed for time. There's a big, like you were talking about, there's a big canyon down there. There's a rock canyon, and it just comes straight up in the woods, neck down, and so they had to come through that neck right there. So, and they just step up out of that canyon, and they was there. It's on you in a second. So, it's a lot different hunting in Alabama, but it's a
It doesn't
good.
take much woods to hold deer
It's
up
a-
there. They
it's a
love those
good-
little bottlenecks.
Yeah, and that's another thing too out there. If you do, like we got a small lease out there, you can't be in the woods walking around. You know, you gotta stay out of them woods. You gotta leave them deer alone because that's all they've got to bed in.
right. And as soon as
So-
you mess with that bedding area, the deer
They're
are gonna
gone.
find somewhere else to go.
That's right. That's right. But it's a good, different hunting. But I was ready to come back to Alabama for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. It's good to mix it up every
It
once in a
is.
while. But
It is.
old saying goes, there's no place like home.
That's right. Then, like I said, that evening of the hunt, or that morning, I walked in and I knew it was going to be a good morning. When it broke daylight, we probably had, I bet there's 15, 20 does down there, you know. And then you start seeing bucks, you know, windling in, windling out. But about 10:30, that big 12 just popped up out of that canyon.
Were they in rut, pre-rut?
It's
going out rut?
it's post rut out there, but you know that good cold weather that they was having at that time, it was kind of holding some deer in there. They was still checking them does. You know what I mean? They still looking for all
Too,
the does.
Rodney, what, you know, notice in Kansas, the wind's steady.
Oh,
always
steady.
out of the northeast. And those deer, they move in wind that's 30 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
our deer would never move. We wouldn't move in Alabama if the wind was
No,
blowing that much.
no.
You wake up and see that wind blowing, I'm not going
Might
today.
as well
They
stay in the
move
bed.
fast up. They're
It
used
didn't
to
bother them. Never
Bother.
bothered them. They got a good steady wind, so they play it. And they work the wind out there to their advantage. They really do. But like I said, I had that deer come in. It'd been 7 long days out there. We had all kind of problems. You know, like I was telling y'all, it was so cold. We went out there and our truck wouldn't crank. We had to borrow a truck from the landowner to go hunting.
Yeah, in Alabama,
So-
you're not used to it being
Yeah.
so cold where, you know, you even got to plug a diesel truck up, much less, you know, let
Yeah.
one warm up for 6 hours.
Yeah, we had to go to Walmart one morning and actually buy an extension cord to plug the truck up.
Yeah,
It took
money well spent though.
6 hours to get it cranked. And then once it cranked, it blowed the transmission seals out of it because the fluid had got so cold in the transmission. So we was in a pickle, but
Was it worth it, though?
oh, it's well worth it.
It's always worth it, isn't it?
I'll be back to Kansas. It's beautiful country. The ride out there and back was rough, especially coming back. They had a blizzard come through Illinois. I think you was out there around that time, wasn't you? And you was somewhere
Yeah, I was
working
in
or something.
Missouri, yeah.
Missouri. Ice. They had 4 inches of ice on the roads. I'm telling you,
It was bad. you know.
people
How long did it take y'all to get home?
14 hours.
Man.
Yeah.
You know, we're not used to driving and that kind of
No.
stuff here, you know.
They ain't either.
I
They
was-
think they are, but they ain't
Yeah,
either.
I was like Granny going down the interstate, you know. These
People passing you.
Yeah, like
but
I'm
you
standing
caught them.
still.
You'd see them in the ditch.
Ditch.
You wave at them when you go by.
The Road Outdoors will be right back after this. And now back to the road outdoors.
It'd been a long 7 days out there in Manhattan, Kansas. The weather had been really cooperating, but like I said, being from Alabama, I am not used to that wind out there blowing 30 miles an hour. We had several good bucks on camera, trail cam pics, but nothing that we was really looking for. The big bucks just wasn't moving. I mean, we was post rut and we was doing all we can to try to find some big bucks. We was moving our cameras, moving our setups and all that stuff, but we just really wasn't getting no big bucks. Well, on the 7th morning of the hunt, it was like 19 degrees and a little bit calmer. So I started easing into my stand and we had some deer movement right at daylight, which I hadn't been getting. So I was really pumped up about that morning. So I eased into the blind, got in there, got settled in. About 10 o'clock, 10:30, started having some good deer, seeing some good deer movement. And about 10:45, I had a good 12-pointer come out of the canyon, just popped up out of there just like the rest of them did. I mean, I've been looking all day long, hadn't seen nothing, and he pops out 100 yards. As usual, as everybody knows, I was out of position. Camera was out of position. I had to get the camera set back up. I was trying to get my gun back in place. I got it propped up, got the camera rolling, got the camera on him, got it good and steady, zoomed in on him. He gave me a good 100-yard broadside shot. I got the camera on him, got it steady, pulled the trigger, and it was a great shot. I mean, I seen him fall through the scope. He just fell like a hammer. So I mean, that it really worked out good. It was a long 7 days, but it really worked out for the best.
That's it for Kansas, boys. We seen some bigger deer, but there ain't but one more deer I've seen bigger than him on this property. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the EHD got it or they had some problems with a drought a couple of years and the big deer died. But he's going to Alabama. I've seen this deer a couple of days. Just run out of time. He ain't real big. He ain't real wide. He got a lot of points. That's all. I couldn't wait no longer.
The Road Outdoors will be right back after this. And now back to the road outdoors.
I was lucky this year. I got to take out a little guy named Blaze. He's 8 years old. I'm real fortunate to have some good hunting land down South Alabama. Blaze, like I said, is 8 years old, but he's an avid hunter. He loves hunting. He gets up, he goes whenever you say it's ready to go. So we got to go out, went to the places. We just did some pre-scouting on some green fields and see how they was doing. But, late season, I could have went hunting. I mean, they rutting in Alabama. Everybody knows late, it's 2 days before season's over. But I'm telling you, if you get a chance, take them kids out. We went out.